Welcome to week 6. We are going to work with data visualization this week, which means a lot of charts and graphs. And so personally, I really enjoy working with these, and hopefully you guys will too. And so as far as your assignments go, really have typical lineup, reading quiz, your group assignment, that kind of thing, Maple TA. Make sure you get all those in. One thing on the group assignment, no quiz that goes along with this. And so let's go in here and take a look. You'll find all your points are coming from the spreadsheet this time around. And so one thing really important, you'll notice participation in your group is important. You need to have worked together as a group. And so really important that one of you submits your attendance for your group meeting for the week. And so make sure if you're the facilitator that you get that attendance submitted so that I can give points for that. Then let me show you what you'll be working with on this spreadsheet. And so what you've got on the spreadsheet are really a lot of different charts and graphs and things, and you need to improve them. These are some really badly done charts and graphs, and so you need to come up with something better for each of these. And so most of these aren't too bad. I think the area people struggle with most is this beach ball one. Don't be afraid to completely change what type of chart or graph it is. And so really on this one, that's what I recommend. A bar chart really wasn't the best way to represent the data. And so feel free to use a different kind of chart or graph if you feel like that is going to represent the data better. And so that's what I'd recommend on this one. Rest of it really does pretty good. Just make sure you'll notice on the rubric, make sure they're created correctly. They're better representations of the data, and just better charts and graphs, what I'll be looking for on those. All right, you also have this week another case study, and so you have Craig's report case study, and again dealing with a lot of these charts and graphs on this one as well. And so as you come into this spreadsheet, make sure you read his backstory. That'll be over on the right of the spreadsheet. You can scroll over there, and then the first thing you're doing is you need to finish filling in some data here, and so you can find that over here to fill that in. And then you need to fix his graph. Craig made this graph, but it's not really great. It's not made correctly, so make sure you redo that graph. You'll be inserting another graph here, filling in the rest of the data here, but also make a note, you need to check Craig's data that he already put in here because he didn't do a great job with his calculations. So make sure you check those calculations that are already in there as well as filling in the rest of this. And so it's looking for average and standard deviation. Make sure you're using those built-in formulas, makes that super easy to do. Filling in the sales and making another graph here and another chart over here. So like I say, lots of charts in this one, charts and graphs. And again, we have the how did I do page right here where you can check how you're doing. But keep in mind, this only checks these calculations and that the data is entered correctly. It won't check your charts and graphs. And so those I'll have to just take a look at and make sure those are good. And so make sure you get all of those charts in there that you need and are required. And then the last thing is this section here, and it says write a description of what you would say in a meeting if you're presenting these charts and graphs. And so keep that in mind when you're filling in this. It says interpret your charts and graphs. Keep in mind this is what you would say in a meeting, and so not just this chart says this chart says this, maybe a little bit more than that, right? Something you would actually say if you were presenting these. All right, hopefully that'll get you started on this week's assignments. Please let me know if you do have any questions.